Hello, 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 wherever you are in the world. This is Anjanette Curry with PBS Financial Coaching and Services. And today's webinar is going to be Adulting 101. We're going to be talking to parents about teaching the fundamentals of money management to parents. So I wanted to do this webinar to assist parents because I got a lot of questions about how do you start your child off with savings. How do you teach them how to invest? How do you teach them what to do with their allowances, right? What can we do, Anjanette? What can I do to instill this into my child at a young age? So sit back, relax. We're going to talk about that today. But before I get into the webinar and the slides, I want you to like, subscribe, and share this video to those friends and families or coworkers or church members, anybody that you know that may need this information. It will be great for them to watch. You can also watch this as a group and then do a group discussion. There is a book and also a workbook that goes along with this Adulting 101. So you can do it as a workshop. You can order the workbooks for the kids, and then you can order the book for yourself to teach from, um, and then use the slide, and then also to have them work through the workbook so that way you know that they are absorbing what you're teaching, to make sure that they get it down packed, they understand the importance of saving money. And so that way, when they get older, they know, okay, I got birthday money. I need to put 10% of this up. I got, money for making straight A's and B's. I need to put 10% of this up. I need to give 10%. So we're going to, go into all of that. But again, if you would please like and subscribe and share this video. Make sure you hit the notification button so that way when I do post a new video, you get access to it. So let me tell you about me. Let me tell you about Anjanette. Who is Anjanette Curry? So Anjanette is the owner and operations manager of Perspective Vision Solutions LLC, PVS, doing business as PVS Financial Coaching and Services. That is my business. This is what I love to do. I created this business because I was at one time financial illiterate. I didn't understand how to manage my money. I struggled a lot and ended up having to file bankruptcy. So this is how Prospective Vision Solution was born. PBS is a certified minority woman-owned small business that's licensed and bonded in the state of Mississippi. So I know my stuff. Okay, I got myself um, legally operational. I made sure I deemed myself as a woman-owned small business. Made sure that I was licensed to be that. Okay. PBS has been in business since 2016 and has helped over 100 families obtain a better lifestyle. Anjanette provides a total money management program by conducting comprehensive financial literacy webinars, seminars, workshops, and one-on-one training. Their signature service is the 9-month financial game plan package, which includes the creation of a vision board, budget setup, savings and investment education, free credit repair and disputing services, student loan restructuring, and strategies for obtaining capital for a personal loan. Internet also has a program for youth ages 8 to 19 and adults that designed to teach bill payment, investing, job security, conflict resolution, and integrity. She also has books, ebooks, and workbooks that teach money management. These items can be purchased on Amazon, Barnes& and Noble, Books A Million, Target, Walmart, and Lulu. PBS's vision is to help its clients understand the importance of managing their money, maintaining good credit, and becoming exemplary citizens in their community. My purpose for doing these free webinars and workshops is because I want to educate the masses. I am trying to get this information out there to you. I know when I was trying to get my stuff together, trying to manage my finances and build a budget, the information was there, it was out there, but I didn't know how to get to it, right? I knew I wanted to change. I knew I wanted to do better, but I just didn't know where to start. So, this is why I post things all the time that is relevant in our lives, especially for my minorities. Now, the purpose of this workshop is to teach the importance of credit, budgeting, savings, investing, and debt management to your children. What we will discuss is, how to create that money mindset, working for money. For those of you that have teenagers and they're now working, your young children can also work for money. We're going to talk about that, go into scope of that, of how you can reinforce um, working, saving, and things like that to make it fun. Make it interactive so your 8-year-old can do this. Okay, we're going to talk, introduce, talk about credit. We're going to talk about budgeting and setting goals. We're going to talk about debt and savings, investing in your future, and preparing for life after high school. Now, once we get done with this webinar, what you will learn is the purpose of money. you know What is it for? Why do we need money? Why people get jobs? What's the purpose of having a job, right? I know sometimes your teenager may be asking, well, Mom, why do I have to work? Do I really have to work? Like, what can I do to not work? So, we're going to talk about that. Why having a good credit score is important. How to budget and set financial goals, how to save money and manage debt, and different ways to invest your money, options to help pay for college. Guys, you need to be in the know, and you need to understand that this is very important because we need to teach our children while they're young, and it starts with us. It's not up to the school, it's not up to your church, it's not up to anybody else but you. Okay, so let's go. Now, what's a money mindset? What does that mean, Anjanette? You know, how can I develop a money mindset? Money is a way of transferring wealth through time. Money is a way of transferring. I'm getting tongue tied, guys. I must be tired. Okay, let's go. Money is a way of transferring. I can't even talk. Transferring wealth through time. Once a child start earning an income, he or she needs to learn how to save and invest that money. Parents need to make sure that this is done when they get their first paycheck. So those of you that have teenagers that's working now, you need to instill this into them as soon as they get their first paycheck, because once they start getting paid and they feel like they can do whatever they want with that money and they don't have to save, and it'll be hard to go back and say, okay, we need to put some of this up. And they go, well, why I need to, so it's best to create a plan when you know that that child is getting a job or they have a job. It's best to go ahead and create a plan so that way when they get their first check, they already know what to do. Okay. Now, teaching your younger children. It is suggested to start teaching a money mindset to children as young as 8 years old. And I have done this successfully over and over again in workshops. they can absorb this information. Parents can use the child's allowance, birthday money, or good behavior money to set up a savings and investment account. If the child is instructed what to do as soon as they receive the money, they would understand that they are saving money for a better future. Again, I do have a workshop that reinforce this, that show you exactly how to do this. I'm sorry, a workbook, not a workshop. I do have a workbook that shows you how to do this. I will put the link in the description box so you can click on the link and you can purchase the actual book that goes to this to teach as you reinforce the workbook. Now, teenagers need to prepare to support themselves before they become an adult. You don't need to wait until that child get out of high school to show them how to support themselves. This should be something that should be taught, I would say, from age 8, that they need to understand that supporting themselves is very important and they need to put money aside to take care of the older them. So they understand when they do become adults that they need to take care of the older them and that they have a plan to do so. Now, you create the life you want when you have the right money mindset. Okay. A lot of people don't develop that mindset. They just running on autopilot. They spin and spin and spin until they broke. And they do the same thing the next month and the same thing the next month and the same thing the next month. Okay. So I want you to teach this to your children. I want you to teach them to practice good financial habits by consistently depositing money. I want you to make appointments for your child to talk with your banker, mortgage lender, and auto dealer. So that way they can go in. And I would say start, when they get about 13 years old, when they say they want a car, Mama, I want a car. I want a car when I graduate. Or you ask them what are their dreams and aspirations. Do you want to buy a house? Do you want a car? So that and start taking them to places so they can talk to the banker and the banker can explain to them what they need to have in place, you know, talk to them about credit, the responsibility of paying your bills on time, the responsibility of staying in low debt and not overbearing yourself with bills. And then, auto dealers. A lot of kids don't understand they have to pay insurance on a car. I know when my stepson got his first car, he was looking like, I gotta pay the insurance. I gotta pay this. I gotta pay that. I thought all I had to do was just pay the car note. No, son, there are other fees that you have to pay. So, talking over this with them will help them understand and educate them on um, the importance of getting their ducks in a row so that way they don't get taken advantage of. For one, they don't get taken advantage of when they do get out on their own. Give your child a budget every month. Set limits so they understand the purpose of following a budget. You don't want to just give your child that money and let them just spend and do whatever they want to do with it. They need to understand that there is a structure and there's a system to doing this, and they need to understand discipline. The most important thing that keeps people um, in debt is because they lack discipline, for one, and then they just spend all their money. They don't have a plan, a game plan as to where that money is going. Now, working for money, we're going to talk about this a little bit for your children. Working not only builds confidence, but it also gives experience in conflict resolution and provides work experience to put on a resume. Having a job gives the child the knowledge to start their own business and confidence knowing they are creating the life they want. When I say conflict resolution, I mean, they are interacting with other people. They are seeing different types of attitudes. They are watching and understanding that, I just can't go off on somebody. I have to give respect. I have to understand that there are rules in the workplace that I must abide by. Um, I have to, make sure that I come in on time. So it teaches a lot of structural things that your child needs to be a responsible adult. Also, it provides work experience. This is something that they can put on their resume when they get older, that they have worked at certain jobs and they have that experience. Also, it gives your child, the knowledge of starting their own business. Let's say they work at Walmart and they understand and seeing all the different positions that they have in Walmart. And then they can understand, okay, this is not something that I want to do. I want to own my own Walmart. So how do I put that in place? What do I need to do? So it gives them different scenarios that they can apply in their lives. So when they do get older to um, decide what they want with their future, they will have that backing in education. All right, places that hire teens. Hiring part-time workers are grocery stores, pharmacies, daycares, community colleges. They could do work study. I know some community colleges do summer programs where they can be institutional work studies, which means that they don't have to attend the college to work as a work study. They do hire institutional work studies in the summertime. Clothing stores, local small businesses, home and garden stores, fast food restaurants. So these are a lot of places that you could take your children to apply for jobs. And also in the summertime, there are a lot of summer programs now that are hiring children to work in the summer. I know the city, check with your local city around May. They'll start sending out applications or posting applications on social media. Sometimes they'll post them in the local newspaper or radio station. So while you're riding, listen to the radio, your local radio station, because they'll start talking about summer programs and then people to come in if they want to apply to work for these summer programs. Daycares also hire in the summertime, but some positions I know you have to be 18 and older to work at a daycare. But then they have some positions like cleaning up and things like that where you don't have to be 18. Community colleges, again, do hire institutional work studies if your child is not going to college at that time and they want to do something in the summer. They do hire institutional work studies. Clothing stores, local small businesses, fast food restaurants, Wendy's, Burger King, um, places like that. Summer jobs. Again, I'm gonna, touch on summer jobs. You got summer camps. There are bukus of summer camps, community colleges, youth organizations, community centers, local city departments, home-based entrepreneurs like grass cutters, people that cut grass. Um, you'll have, if you know somebody in your neighborhood that does has a small business, ask them if they're hiring. If they're hiring part time, some of them need somebody to do their filing. Some of them need somebody to, clean up the office. Some of them need somebody to run errands. So this would be a great way to have your child find their first job. to start looking at these entities, and that will help them. And you can actually take them to apply so they can get that background of, okay, this is how you talk to a potential employer. You don't just walk up in and say, hey, y'all hiring. So this would be a way to teach them and prepare them on what to say. All right, side hustles for teens, okay? If they can't find a regular job, there is a way that they can create income, and it's called side hustles. Teenagers can do this also. Another way teenagers can earn extra money is to start their own business. Hey, entrepreneur, entrepreneur. A lot of teenagers are becoming millionaires just by using their cell phones. They can become YouTube creators, Facebook Reels. They can create Facebook Reels, TikTok influencer. They can, what do they call it? When they do the videos side by side, I forgot what they call it. You can do be an influencer on someone else's TikTok and talk about that and get paid like that. Selling products on Amazon, Etsy, and creating a website for you to sell your products like t-shirts. T-shirts are real big. I see now that a lot of people are doing tennis shoes. They're drawing art on tennis shoes. What else? Necklaces are big. Jewelry, paparazzi, things like that. So, and you can sell those products and advertise them on Amazon, Etsy, and then create your little small website where you can put all of your products on there, and people you can send people the website link, and they can shop that way. Post it on your social media, help them make money. I've seen several small children, like 8 years old, and they are millionaires right now. So it can be done, people. It can be done. It just takes some time to get it started, but once you start getting followers, they'll start sharing and saving your videos, and that gives you more reach, and then you'll have more people creating videos and blog post content for other businesses. Now I had um a young guy, I think he was like 12 or 13, and he made a video for me, and that was a nice video. And I do have friends that have children that make videos for people, and they are really good videos. So if your child love to do stuff like that and are technical and love to create things, you can create a side hustle and let them make money, and they get to do something that they enjoy very well. So it won't feel like a job, it's just a hobby that they're doing, and they'll love to do it and maybe turn it into a business, and be an entrepreneur. So this will be great for them to have. Now, let's talk about credit. Introduction to credit. Creating a good credit score begins with how disciplined you are with paying back debt. Teaching your teen how to build and maintain credit is key to being a responsible adult. Good credit gives you incentives and perks that people with low credit scores can have. And I always tell my parents while I'm working with them on their credit to show their children what they are doing and why credit is so important. So that way, when they get older, they understand, okay, I got to keep my bills paid. I can't be late, because if I'm late and I don't pay my bills, this could potentially affect me getting things that I want when I get older. So as they get older and then go to college, I know for me, when I went to college, student loans was the thing. I applied for it every semester. I got the max in student loans because I was using that money as a way of helping me pay my debt. Children need to understand when they get older, when they start going to college, that's not a good thing. You only take out student loans when you need to take out student loans. Um, and they need to understand that they have to pay that money back. You know, you're gonna have to pay this money back. You can't ignore it. So they just need to understand the responsibility. Again, this is also in my workbook. It takes them step by step on how to build credit. It talks about credit and what it is. It helps reinforce in the book. It tells you how to reinforce that by, you know, opening a credit card and putting them as an authorized user. Also, giving them a green dot debit card so they can understand how to start using those cards and, you know, putting their allowances and their spending money on those cards so they can discipline themselves to use them only when they need to. Now, again, I said that we was going to talk about this. This is very important. So I wanted to give you some background so that way when you do have the book, these things are going to be discussed in the book so that way you can reinforce it to your children. The book goes more into detail. Since we're doing the webinar and I'm pressed for time, I can't give you everything in this webinar, so I just wanted to go over some of the important points so that way you can see what all the book entails. But the book has way more. I think it's about close to 100 pages. And then the workbook, I believe, is about 60 pages, I believe. So it's pretty extensive. It goes into detail on all of this. Now, things to do for parents to how to teach your child to build credit. You can add your teen as an authorized user on one of your credit cards. This will help them build credit. So how this works is when you add them as an authorized user, you get a card in their name. You get the card, okay? It's up to you to give them the card. You don't have to give it to you don't have to give them the card if you don't want to. You could just put it up somewhere. And so as you use your account, they get your credit score, okay? They get your credit score automatically by you putting them as an authorized user. So I always tell my parents, if you got bad credit, don't put them kids on your as an authorized user if you know you're not going to be paying your bills and you're going to be, you know, messing up stuff. Do not put those kids on there because whatever credit score you got, you're going to give it to them. If you're bad with, you know, not paying your bills and um it's gonna carry to them. So only use this if you're responsible with paying your bills and you got a pretty good credit score. Okay. Open an account at a federal credit union in your child's name. Most credit unions now allow parents to open accounts in their children's name. You can deposit their allowances, their paychecks, or whatever kind of money that they get. You can deposit that money into those accounts, and then they have a debit card to use. The reason why I say a high yield, a federal credit union, is because they are more relaxed with opening accounts. They also have better interest rates, and this could be an account that this child could have forever. And the longer they have the account, the better it is, and it helps them establish credit worthiness, and it helps them establish a relationship with a banker. You always want to do that. Borrow $1,000 from that credit union in your child's name, which means that you could create a credit starter loan. And what they do is they issue $1,000, but they hold the $1,000 into a savings account. So as you pay monthly on the $1,000, they credit it back to the savings account. So at the end of the term, when you've paid that $1,000 off, you get the $1,000 back. You get what you paid in. Okay. Now they do charge a little bit of interest, but it is worth doing this to create credit. Okay. It's called a credit starter loan. Ask your banker about this. Okay. And ask them to go in more detail and explain this to you. Let your child purchase a used car in their name. This is your teenagers now. This is your teenagers, the ones that are going to college and you want to purchase a car, or they want to purchase a car, and you want to give them a car as a graduation present or a birthday present or something like that. Buy a used car. Do not buy your child, your teenager, a brand new car. This is something that they have to work towards. If you get them a brand new car, what are they working towards? Right? They already got what they want. So I say buy them a used car, put it in their name since they have credit now because you've done all the other things. So they should have enough credit to purchase a car. Put the car in their name. You can make the payments. If you want to make the payments, you can make the payments, or you can, let them know that they have to make the payments, or you two go half. You make half of the payments, they make half of the payments. You um pay for the insurance. If you want to go half, or you pay the car note, they pay the insurance note. However you want to do it, but you want to create this so that way you're building credit. Maintain credit history. Charge at least $50 a month on these credit cards. Now, you're going to pay the full $50 off when the statement comes out. Okay. In the book, I go more in detail. I'm rushing for time, so I'm trying to get this under an hour. And that's why I can't go into detail like the book does. But if you go in and purchase the book, click on the link, it goes into detail. It's like 86 pages, so it tells you exactly how to do this. Pay off the $1,000 loan in 9 months and then pay all debt before due date. So the $1,000 loan, make sure you check with your banker if they offer if there's not a prepayment penalty. Some of them you have to pay it off in 12 months. Some of, I think 12 months or 24 months or however it is. But just make sure you ask them, is there a prepayment penalty? If there is a prepayment penalty, which means that if you pay this account off early, you will be they will add a penalty fee for paying it off early. Um, if there is a penalty fee, just pay it out the terms that they have. Just make the payments, monthly payments, and pay it as the term that they have, and maybe 12 months or 6 months or however you decide. But just make sure you pay it off, and then pay all debt before the due date. You want to make sure that you instill this to your children. Let them see you paying bills. Let them see you paying your car note. Let them, sit them down and show them, that you're paying your credit card statements, and let them see, okay, this is the due date. This is the statement. This is what it looks like. This is where the due date is. Make sure you pay this, by this date. Show this to them so they can get accustomed to seeing things like that. So when they do get older in an age and they start getting these accounts, they already understand it, and it won't be so hard for them when they get older. Now, the components of a credit score. I wanted to go over this because these are some important numbers, percentages that people really don't understand. All they know is just, I got a credit score, but they don't know what makes up that credit score or the purpose of that credit score. Okay. So, payment history. 35% of your credit score is payment history. This is paying your bills on time, making sure that you are paying your bills on the due date or before the due date. Do not be late in paying these bills, okay? 35%. Okay, so just one missed payment could lower your credit score 100 points. So remember that. So if you got like a 650, imagine missing a payment and your credit score dropping to a 550. That's like a D in school. That's like a D in school. Okay. Credit utilization is this is how much credit you used. Okay. Credit utilization is 30%. Okay. 30% of credit utilization, and I say amount owed. If you see that down there, it says the amount that you owe. That means how much you're charging on your credit card. So that is 30%. So just imagine if you miss a payment and then you overcharge on your credit, that's 65% of your credit score. So that's why a lot of people have low credit scores because they don't pay their bills on time, and then um they overcharge those credit, because really on a credit card you're only supposed to charge between 10 and 30% of your credit um amount. So let's say your credit amount is $500, you're only supposed to charge 10 to 30% of that $500 a month. And okay, a month, not adding charging 30 this month, then 30 that month, and you hadn't paid last month. um it's not, you're not supposed to do that. So my rule of thumb is whatever you charge, make sure it's something that you can pay off by the billing statement. I don't want you to make minimum payments. I want you to pay the whole thing off. And this is how you build really good credit, okay? Credit history, how long you've had your credit. Credit history is 15%. That's the length of credit, how long you've had that credit card. How long have you been using that credit card? That counts as 15%. New accounts, how many new accounts open? That means anytime that you apply for credit, it's considered new up to, I believe, 4 months. It is considered new. So if you've had that account for at least 4 months, it's still considered new. Don't just go and apply for this card, apply for that card, applying for 5 cards, because it could hurt your credit score and make your credit score go down by applying for all these credit cards, and they look at you as risky when you do that. So remember, you don't want to do that. You want to apply for one and then wait about 6 months and then apply for another one. Okay, you want to slowly build that history. Okay, now credit mix, the different types of credit accounts. Credit mix count as 10%. Okay. Now this is your, like your car loan, your house loan, your personal loan, credit cards, things like that that show up. So those are what they call different types of credit. Okay. Now, budgeting and goal setting. These two components are the foundations of living a financially stable life. Parents can teach budgeting by assisting the teens to create their own budget according to their income. If the teen doesn't have income yet, parents can let the child create the household budget and take the child alone to pay budgeted bills. So this is how you reinforce budgeting and paying bills on time. So you sit them down and let them help you create the budget. And then once they create the budget, when it's time to pay the bills, you tell them and say, hey, on this budget, like I will put the budget on the refrigerator so that way they can walk by and see the due dates of those bills. And then tell them to let you know when the due date is, and you two are going to go pay it together, and you go pay the bills together. So this way, every month, they get acclimated to understand, okay, mama got to pay this bill is due, we got to make sure we can't go over the due date. And so that way, when they get older, they already have that instilled in them to know that, okay, if I get a house note, I'm going to have to pay my bill on time. I put my budget on the refrigerator to remind me, to let me know that I got these bills. Awesome, right? Amazing. And then parents, for you, this is a great reinforcement for you as well, to help you stay on track. Now, let's talk about setting SMART goals, SMART goals. So, setting goals teaches your teen how to manage their life as they take on more responsibility. Getting comfortable with goal setting in teens years can help them accomplish their dreams, avoid overwhelm, and manage their lives. Setting SMART goals. SMART stands for specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely. And I know for you adults, some of you guys have had to set SMART goals. You've attended workshops talking about this. I know when I was in school, we had to do this all the time. Like, this was a class that we had to create SMART goals for our lives, for homework. We had to create SMART goals just about for everything. Okay. And so now I implement this in my budget, when I'm setting goals for myself. I set timely goals, measurable goals, and goals that I know that I can attain in a short period of time. I have short-term goals, I have long-term goals, and then I have what I call dream goals, which means that I have goals that I would love to do, that I dream of doing. And so I'm just setting things into place as to what's most important, what I need to do now, and what I need to do later. Okay. Now, this helps your team understand how to put all the pieces together on paper. They can be specific and know exactly what it takes and how long it takes to achieve a goal. Now, let's talk about how to create a budget. Okay. Most financial challenges are created by bad financial habits. Yeah, I know I've been there. Oof, oof. We're not going to even go there right now. If you have the right budget in place, facing financial challenges will be easier. So, it is very important that you teach your child how to budget, how to manage their money, how not to overspend, how to make sure that they're saving enough to pay bills and saving enough, for emergencies, and saving enough for their dreams, and saving enough um to pay their tithes, and Sundays, so they don't overspend and go, well, mama, I spent my money. I don't have any money to put in tithes. You making sure that they're doing this when they create a budget, because tithing is going to be part of the budget. Okay. So this is what I want you to do. These are questions that I need you to answer when you're setting a budget, before you set a budget. Okay. So, where's the money coming from? You need to decide where your money is coming from. Like, write a list of all income sources and amounts. If it's child support, work, side hustles, um, you know, whatever you're getting money from. Write it all down. Okay. Then you need to find out where your money is going. Okay. Now, you're going to create a spending category. You want to use our spreadsheet, and I'm going to attach the spreadsheet, the link to the spreadsheet in the description box. So you'll have that for free. So don't worry. And then also, it's going to be in the workbook, and it is going to be in the book. So if you want to purchase the book, all of this is going to be in the workbook. Okay, guys. So um you're going to download the spreadsheet that has all the categories listed for you. What are your bills and when are they due? So on this spreadsheet, you're going to write down all debt. You're going to write down the amount and then the due date. Okay. So the example is going to be in a link in the description box, and I'm going to post that there. Okay. Now, I want you to assign 10 to 20% of your income, 10% for emergencies, 10% for savings, and then 10% for investment account. Okay. All right. I need you to do this. Okay. And I know you're probably saying, ain't no way I could take 30% out my investment account. If you can't do it and you're already, paycheck to paycheck, put what you can in these accounts. I don't care if it's $10. I don't care if it's $5. Put what you can. If you could save $20 a month, put $5 in emergency, $5 in savings, and then put the rest in the investment account. Okay? Do that for me. Now, create your working budget. Okay? Once you've completed the spreadsheet, start using it every month. I need you to make sure that you are using this budget. Make sure when you create this budget that you are sitting your children down with you, showing them how you did this. And then next month, you let them create the budget. And then you go over it when they get done to see if they did it correctly. I mean, it'll be fun, I'm telling you, because your kids will be like, Mama, you got to pay all this money. Oh, Lord. I know when I started creating my budget, um, I let my kids see what I was paying, and then I was sending them to go pay bills. They got to the point where they didn't want to ask me for money because they knew how much money I was paying out. It was several times that my daughter was like, "Well, Mama, I know you don't have the money. I'm gonna try to see if I can, get the money from family members, or if I'm gonna try to sell candy and stuff like that to get the money." Seriously. So when your kids go to see how much goes into, living and paying expenses, and you have to pay all this stuff, there's a different respect they have for you when they actually see that. Okay. Now, don't go over what's on your budgeted spreadsheet. So the important thing about this is making sure you stand on task and making sure you're disciplining yourself, so that way when you are teaching your child, they see that discipline in you, instead of you saying, okay, I got a budget, but we ain't really going by the budget. All right. So this is what don't what is it? Don't do as I say, do as I do. Okay. So I want you to, whatever you say, I want you to do. Okay. So we gonna make this happen. All right, guys. Now, debt and savings. As we know, a good life requires getting into debt. Debt creates a positive financial return when paid off as agreed, while bad debt can ruin your credit and have you struggling to pay for necessities like living expenses and gas for your automobile. Put your team on a system where they learn how to handle spending money along with saving it. So the important key is, we all gonna have debt. We can't get past it. If we want to live a really good life and we want to be happy, it includes debt. Okay. So just teach your children how to be responsible while you're teaching yourself how to be responsible. Because if you are responsible, then they will be responsible. They can't help but to be responsible because they see in you. And as we know, children do what they see. So if they see you doing what you need to do, paying your bills, staying on track, following your budget, saving money, investing money, paying your tithes, they see you doing all this, then they gonna fall in line and do the same thing. And then think, you're creating um financial freedom for one. You're breaking generational curses, which means that I call it generational choices, because it's a choice that we're choosing, generation to generation. So you're breaking this because you're instilling your kids, and then it creates a positive mindset instead of a poverty mindset, because most of us that lives in impoverished neighborhood, we have a poverty mindset. We have a mindset to where we just want to pay bills and make it. Whatever I have to do to make it, I'm not worried about nothing else. I just want to make it. And we need to break from that, because if we don't break from that, then our children, our grandchildren, our great grandchildren is going to follow the same footsteps, and we want to stop that. Okay, we have every tool, we have every thing afforded to us to where we can make a difference right now. Our ancestors fought for this, for us to have the freedom to do things that we need to do, and we have the freedom. We just have to put our mindset in order, make the changes that we need to make, discipline ourselves, and then follow the game plan, people. Follow the game plan. Now, best ways to handle debt. Step one, understand debt reduction strategies. High interest rate method or the snowball method. That means that understand that you don't have to continue to stay in debt. Have a strategy to be debt free. So you need a car, we know that. Get you a nice dependable car. You need a house, we know that. Get you a house that you can afford to live in. Um what else? You need education, so you borrow wisely. You need clothing, bills, all that stuff need to be paid. So we're going to create a budget, okay? And then credit cards, have a snowball method to pay those credit cards off, okay? Pay your car off, pay your house off, okay? We don't want to be in debt for the rest of our life. We just want to fund our future so we can set ourselves up. And then once we set ourselves up, then we create strategies to um, uh, produce money so we don't have to work. Okay. Step two, create your debt reduction plan. Put together a strategy to pay off your debts by a certain date. And again, I do have the book that goes more into detail, but of course, we know through here we only have an hour, so I'm trying to get this done. Step three, organize your monthly bills. Use a bill calendar like the one in our life planner to keep track of your monthly expenses and when they are due. I'll put a link for the life planner so you can see those and what they look like and what's all inside. Okay, take control of your finances, get a handle on your debt. Never apply for more than what you can handle, and pay all your bills on time every month. Okay, now strategies for saving money. Making a budget. I want you to make a budget. A budget is like a diet for your money. Once you know what you can afford to spend, try to stick to those limits every month. Eat out less. Eating out is one of the most expensive splurges. Cutting back on eating out, and you could save 33%, people. I know when I cut back on eating out, man, I had money. Do you hear me? I had money, like $100 left over a month, but because I cut eating out, I only eat out 4 times a month, 4 times, and sometimes I don't eat out like 2 times a month, you know. But I made sure that I disciplined myself. I cooked food. I start coming home, eating at home, so I don't have to eat out. Create a savings plan. Come up with different ways to save extra money. A change jar is a simple way to trick yourself into saving money. You can do this as a family, as a challenge. You could do it as a family challenge. Who can save the most money? And then you guys come together and bring all that money together and then deposit it into a savings account. Okay. Stay away from debt. Debt is inevitable, but making sure you pay off the debt you acquire will free up huge chunks of change in your budget. Again, you got to have that game plan as to when you want to become debt free. Live within your means. Only buy things you need. Find things that you don't need and sell them on social media. Don't keep up with the Joneses because they're always broke. All that junk you got around your house, have garage sales, post that stuff on social media and get rid of it. Do you hear me? Get rid of it. Make some extra money. Do, things that you need to do. Include your children in it so that way it can become a family goal. And so they know when they get older, all this stuff I got, I could just sell instead of me just throwing it away or giving it away. Okay. Investing in your future, teaching your teen to maximize their money requires consistency. Money is to be invested wisely in order to grow your income. Making monthly deposit into your savings and investment accounts shows that you are serious about taking care of the older you. Choose a method that you are comfortable with and stick to it, people. Again, the book I have goes more into detail. Due to time constrictions, I'm not going to be able to go more into that, but just make sure that you have a plan. Different types of investments. We have stocks. This means when a company provides shares for sales to raise money for the company. Bonds, a governmental instrument used to raise money to loan out to borrowers that collect interest. CDs, certificate of deposits, depositing a sum of money into a CD for a set amount of time to accrue interest. ETFs, exchange traded funds, a basket of stocks from a group of companies that gain shares. Index funds, a collection of companies that offer stocks in exchange of dividends. IULs, Index Universal Life, a life insurance policy that accrues cash value. Now, how to open an investment account. You're going to open a checking or savings account at your local bank. Step one. Step two, open an investment account with an online brokerage firm like Fidelity, Stockpile, Webull, Ameritrade, etc. Okay. Step three, link your checking and savings account to your investment account. Okay. Step four, transfer money from your checking and savings account to your investment account. Step five, watch a YouTube video on how to trade stocks using the firm you choose. Okay. That's it. All right. Different types of investments. We have stocks. When a company provides shares, oh, I went back. Sorry. Preparing for life after high school. All right. Now, young adults are faced with many difficult choices after graduating high school. One important choice is choosing where to go to college. Some parents aren't fortunate enough to pay for a teen's college expenses, and so the teen may have to get a job to pay remaining expenses. How can you help your teen balance both worlds? Maximizing your resources. So, this is a resource that you can give your teen, or you can talk about it as a family. They can apply for Pell Grants, scholarships, employer scholarships. Talk with your employer to see if they offer scholarships for children, church scholarships, or fundraisers. I know some churches give scholarships to their members, or you could do fundraisers. Donations from family and friends, GoFundMe accounts, get to college websites, Facebook fundraiser campaign, create a side hustle to generate cash or get a part-time job. Options to save on college expenses. Go to a community college first, which is way cheaper. Do you hear me? Way cheaper. Rich families are starting to do this because they see that they save money. Then if the child get a full scholarship, the parent don't have to pay anything. Right? Right. Rent books instead of buying. Commute instead of living on campus. Apply for food stamps. Use the school transportation system. Apply for the food pantry program at the school. Find out all the free resources your college offers. Check your community organization for free assistance. Apply for a work study position. How to apply for scholarships. Check your prospective college's website or call the scholarship department to get info on deadline dates. This is at the college. Check with your high school counselor about applying for scholarships they may have received. Check with your employer to see if they offer scholarships to children. Google scholarships for high schoolers without essays. Search on YouTube about scholarships you can apply for. Check with your church to see if they received any scholarship opportunities. Thank you. I now will open the workshop for any questions. So, webinar, I would say webinar. This is when I had a workshop. So, guys, if you got any questions, please feel free to list them under, and I will go back and answer all the questions that you have. Also, I will have links to everything that I reference. I will have link to my book and the workbook. I will have links to the budgeting sheets. I will have links to the life planner. So everything will be in the description box. Make sure you click on those links to get access to those. Again, before I leave, thank you for hanging out with me. I really appreciate you taking an hour of your time to watch this. Um, Please leave any comments, anything that you would like to say. If this reference with you, if it gave you guidance, please let me know. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Um, and make sure you hit the notification button to receive future notifications. Thank you guys. I really appreciate you. This is Anjanette Curry with Perspective Vision Solutions LLC, doing business as PVS Financial Coaching and Services. You guys have a blessed day, and I will see you on the next webinar. Peace.